This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Leigh Wood over Zoom. Lee, it's good to see you. Yeah, how are you doing?
All good, mate. All good. Um, I'm back in the gym full time, back to 100% health, and ready to get a fight nailed down ASAP.
I can imagine that's the case, Lee, and I particularly imagine it's been a frustrating period in your career because, as I just said to you, I didn't realise it's been a year since the Josh Warrington fight. Now, obviously, after that fight, there's all the talk of, you're entering this final chapter of your career. You want to try and be as active as you can, make the most of maybe another year, 18 months, and then sail off into the sunset. Uh, how would you sum up this past year since the Warrington fight?
Yeah, I'm not sure if many people knew that I picked up that injury. So very frustrating and managed to get over that. Obviously, it niggled a little bit, but yeah, it just feels good to be back in the gym full time and that. But like you said, I want to finish this journey, and I want to finish this journey in style. So yeah, it's now time to start looking at my options and I was waiting for the winner of the Cacace Warrington fight the other week. Um, I really want the winner, and it would have been good if it was Warrington. It would have made for a good rematch, but it wasn't. So yeah, the Cacace fight is the one I want. I think I beat him in style, without being disrespectful to him. He's a really good fight, and it'll probably be a hard fight. To be honest, I'm never in an easy fight, am I? To be honest, but no, it's a fight that I'm very confident I can win and win in style.
What did you make of Kakachi's performance and his victory against Josh?
You can't look into too much. Obviously, beat him on points, but you can't look into too much with that because styles make fights, different blends of styles. You get different outcomes. Just because I beat Warrington in better fashion doesn't mean I beat Kakachi in devastating fashion. Styles make fights, but like I said, I am confident in beating him and beating him in fashion. He's a really good fighter. So yeah, it's a fight I want to try my best to make and to make next and to make soon.
Obviously, with Kakachi, we know that he's got a potential mandatory situation to deal with in Sugar Nunes. Does that complicate things? Let's say if that's kind of forced upon him and he was to vacate, would you still hold an interest in Kakachi, or is it purely the belt, which is the main thing for you?
No, for sure, it's the fights. It's the biggest fight I think. Um, Nunes hasn't really beat anyone that anyone knows yet. It's not really a name that's not saying he's not a good fighter because he's a really good fighter, but he needs to be proven against a name someone can compare against. So I think I'm definitely the biggest fight for Kakache. Whether he wants to hold on to that world that title and go down that route, that's up to him. So he's got a decision to make. I've seen interviews who said he wants to financially get the biggest fights, and I believe that's me. I believe he'll get a lot more money fighting me than he will Nunes, but that's up to him. It's his decision. But yeah, I think it's an exciting fight. Um, it's one for the fans, and no matter where it is, if it's ever in England, Ireland, Nottingham, Saudi, wherever it can be made, it's a great fight.
Your old mate Josh Warrington, after that fight, he put his gloves down in the ring, kind of suggested that might be the end of the road for him. Since then, there's been a few comments into, and he suggested that if he was to continue, it'd have to be the right fight, the right dance partner. So your name being mentioned again, despite the defeat that he suffered, would you hold any interest in a Warrington rematch up at 130?
Yeah, possibly. Um, he said I said something soppy. I didn't. I just thought he probably nicked it from my perspective on the night. I thought he did better than a lot of people thought he was going to do. I had no volume. I was watching the fight there live on the screen, so I couldn't really hear a lot. You don't hear the shots go in. I was literally watching it on a screen with no volume. And my opinion, from my perspective, was he might have nicked it. But yeah, I haven't watched it back, but I will in due course for sure. Um, but yeah, if people want to see the fight, then it's got demand, then it can happen. But if people don't want to see it, then there's nothing in it, is there? I thought he was going to retire from like what you said he did with his gloves. I don't know if he is. I don't think he's actually announced anything yet. He did an interview. I got sent about 10 people mentioning my name, but I don't know if people want to see it again, then for sure it's a possibility.
I mean, if you're getting people send it to you, that would suggest it is still a fight people would like to see ran back again.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would like to see me knock him out again, to be honest. But I don't know. It's that's a question for the promoters. They do the number crunching and look at the value still and that. So maybe and to be honest, the fans are always going to turn out for him, especially in a rivalry against the right city against myself. So possibly it's a possibility, but I'm trying to move forward, not backwards. I want to be in better fights, in more challenging fights. So when I look back and go, look, I beat him, then moved on. I beat him and moved on, and I moved up in weight and then beat a current champion. So yeah, I mean, I prefer the Kakachi fight. Um, that's the fight I'm gunning for. That's the fight I want. And if I can't get that fight, then another champion or someone that's recently been world champion would be the next best thing. That's not been beat recently.
Um, Lee, across the UK for probably the last year to 2 years, there's obviously been a lot of criticism from fans in terms of the shows and events. Now, you're one of few who's been a consistent headliner, not only a consistent headliner, always in entertaining fights. Maurizio Lara, Josh Warrington, Michael Conlan, all unbelievable fights in their own respect. Is it a surprise to you that maybe those opportunities haven't presented themselves, knowing the fans' desire to see these big headline UK fights going ahead?
Yeah, everyone loves a fight night, don't they? It's an event. It's not just going to watch the boxing. It's going out. It's enjoying the night and that. But yeah, obviously I'm not in contract with Matchroom anymore. But that doesn't mean that I won't work with them. Matchroom gave me a lot over the years. There's so many opportunities and some massive paydays. And I'm thankful for every opportunity I've had off them. And I've actually been to talk to Frank Smith recently. But I just don't know if I don't know if they took the eye off the UK market a little bit or they just not got anything for me, because it's not really come back to me with much. I don't know offers or anything come up. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the UK market has dipped a little bit. Um, but there's a good show coming up. I think that the Yafai and Edwards fight is a brilliant fight as well. So there is still fights, but not as many as there used to be. For what reason I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm a free agent. Which sounds glamorous, but it's the opportunities that I want. It don't really matter if I'm with someone or I'm not. But I'm talking to people, and I want that Kakashi fight really. I want to get that nailed down, and get training, get locked in and targeted for a fight, so I can start putting my foot to the metal and making the most of this journey and this last part of my journey.
As a free agent now, then Lee, have you spoken with other promoters just to see kind of if there's anything which they may be able to offer? So, for example, you mentioned Cacace, he is signed up with Frank Warren and Queensbury.
Yeah, for sure. I've been talking. Yeah. Obviously, it's not one of the things that happens overnight. It takes time, but I'm in talks. We'll see what they come back with. Like you said, there's a mandatory situation. There's all these things going off, and there's so many fights going off with different promoters at the minute. It's a busy time just because they're not happening in Rio, they're happening elsewhere. So, but yeah, when I know something, I'm sure you'll know something.
I know we've done interviews in the past and you've spoken about how you'd like to have at least one fight over in the States. Is that still something you believe could happen, or do you feel like time might be running out on that? If it was kind of maybe you have one more back and then you look at towards a city ground and what have you, just looking at time constraints and how long you might still want to continue your career on for?
Things change all the time in boxing. A few years ago, the place to be was Vegas, but for me, it's always been the city ground. It should have happened last year, really, but it didn't. Um, I still would really love that fight at the City Ground. That's where my heart lies. But I'm not gonna not fight or not get opportunities because I'm not gonna fight there. So if I had to fight somewhere else, I'll fight somewhere else. At the minute, Saudi's leading the way. They're all the biggest fights happening there. So it'd be stupid not even to try or try to be a part of that. But like I said, things change all the time. Whether that's places, we just had the biggest show at Wembley. I was thankful to be there for that. Um, but yeah, things change all the time. at the start of the year before I got injured, I wanted two more fights, but now things have happened and it took me so long to get over that, which was unexpected. It might even be one more, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I come out of fight unscathed and don't take too many shots, there might be another, but we'll see. I think one more as it stands at the minute if it's the right fight, but we'll see. Like I said, things change all the time, and whilst I'm still performing at my very best, I don't know.
And Lee, obviously, you've got quite a big stable now, training alongside you at the Ben Davison Performance Centre. What's it like when you're seeing all of your the kind of campmates getting ready for fights, going out there performing? Is it kind of happiness for them, or is it frustration that you're still kind of waiting for your own opportunity?
No, I'm happy for them being busy. Everyone's at different stages, aren't they? Like Shabazz has got his fight coming up soon, big step up and a chance for him to, you know, start cementing his name amongst some other names in the division. And that's a really good fight for him at the right time. But yeah, at the same time, it's frustrating for me, but 2023 was a very busy year. So I feel like going from being extremely active to hardly anything at all and nothing in the pipeline, it's hard. But you know, you get injured, you can't help it. It's just one of the things. I've been there before in the past when I've been in a totally different stage of my career and I've got injured and I was dead down and then I come back and then I box and I got injured. It's frustrating, but at the same time, I've experienced it before. Um, I know it's not forever, and when the fights come around and it comes around so fast, like you're in that wilderness for a little bit, then you get a date, and then you fight, and you think, "Well, that's gone so fast." And especially the stage where I'm at in my career, when I'm right at the tail end, I ain't got time to sit around and moan and feel sorry for myself. Got to stay in the gym like I have been all year. Even when I've like, not been able to do everything I want to do, I've just been in the gym doing what I can. And I'm just thankful now that I'm back to 100% health. I'm eyeing a fight, and I want to get something nailed down. And kind of do what everyone else is doing in the gym, looking towards the date. Yeah.
Just on the theme of campmates, Lee, just want to get your thoughts on a few things. Joe Cordina is somebody who you were previously mentioned as a potential kind of rival and fight at some point could have materialised. We never saw that, but he's obviously teamed up now with Barry. Obviously worked with Lee and with Ben as well. Just wanted to get kind of an understanding of what that was like when Joe first moved across.
Yeah, he's a really good fighter. There wasn't really a massive or even close negotiations between me and him fighting. It was mentioned a few times, but it was never really close to happening. But yeah, I've spoke to Joe before many times, and now he's been at the gym. It's good to have him. One of the lads, signed. And yeah, what a stable we've got at the minute. We've got some great talent, and I said this probably a year and a half to 2 years ago when I was probably like a handful of fighters with Ben, and I said, when everyone realizes what you get down here and what they do, the work that they do, like it's gonna be like hectic. It's gonna be busy, and go back and find the interview, and you'll see what I said, and then before you know it, we've got AJ in the gym. Moses is great talent. And we've got the McCormack twins. The gym's full and it's busy. And it's full of great talent as well. And it's good for bringing and developing other fighters through. You kind of like see how they live, see how you see how other fighters live, you see what work they put in, and it's only going to push other fighters along.
You've obviously always sung the praises of Ben and Lee and Barry and the training setup down there. You've done it with me on numerous occasions. I imagine you've been the first one to kind of defend the team on the back of any criticisms which might have been thrown their way from the Anthony Joshua defeat to Daniel Dubois. What did you make of anybody who was critical of them?
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but what some people said on the night wasn't accurate of what actually happened. But it's not my place to defend, and that it's probably good for me to just keep my mouth shut and let everyone think that they're not as good as they are. My team down there. That's how I like to look at it anyway. But yeah, statements were made that weren't even accurate at all. Um, but I just smile because like I said before, the way they view boxing and how they do things is totally different. And I don't think many people in the world are actually doing that. And if you think logically, you think would all these fighters be there if they wasn't getting and doing and understanding what they're being told? Um, but yeah, you still have to go out there and put it all together and stuff. And there's still a margin for error. But yeah, people are always gonna be critical, especially when people are doing well. That's just life. So I'm just gonna smile and sit back and let people say what they want to say. And sometimes you're an idiot if you have to go out and defend it. You're better off just keeping your mouth shut.
Just on the theme of that main event, what do you feel like went wrong for AJ?
Um, Again, like I don't want to say anything or say too much because that first of all, that fight might happen again. But I think Josh knows where he went wrong. He knows what he needs to do more, what he needs to do better. And as long as he knows, that's all that matters.
We also have Fabio Wardley preparing for his rematch with Fraser Clark next weekend. How does this one play out in comparison to what we saw first time around?
What a great fight! I was there for the first fight. Unbelievable night. The thing is with Fabio, like you just can't switch off for a second with him because he's so explosive. Um, and I hope he can go out and get the job done. Um, Another great guy in the gym. Unbelievable talent. So yeah, you know, I can't call it, but I'm hoping that Fabio can do what he did last time, but this time close the show.
Just final one from me, Lee. You mentioned earlier on kind of UK shows on the horizon, and Edwards Yafai is one of them. Had a press conference yesterday. When it swings about November 30th, who do you lean towards?
Can't really call it. Sonny's got that style which is hard for a lot of fighters. Obviously lost to Bam, but Bam's an exceptional fighter. He was pound for pound. Was on that top five pound for pound list. But yeah, Gamal's a great talent and he's relentless as well. He's just got a right engine on him and he can crack. Very skilled, very great pedigree with Olympic gold. So it's hard to call. Um, Sonny's coming off a loss, so mentally, and I'm not sure where he's training and where he's training at the minute. So I'm not really looked into it, but it's hard to call. It's hard to call, but it's just a great fight to enjoy in it. The rivalry and things being said with the brothers and that. So yeah, I'll be tuning into all of that, especially the press conference, and more than likely I'll be at the fight.
Right, Lee, I appreciate your time. I leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, we have an announcement soon for your ring return. Enjoy the
Hopefully,
weekend ahead, and I'll see you soon.
all being well. And next time we talk, we'll have a date to announce and someone to look forward to meet.